All right, so in our last explainer, we dove deep into the amazing, complex blueprints for proteins, right? From that basic sequence all the way to their final 3D shape. Well, today, we're swapping our architect's hats for hard hats. We're moving from the blueprint to the actual construction site. Welcome to our builder's guide to protein quality.
So you've got the plans. You know exactly what you're supposed to be building. But here's the real question for your body. When that supply truck, your breakfast or lunch, pulls up to the job site, does it actually have all the parts you need? Are you going to be stuck waiting for a missing piece? That's what we're going to figure out right now. Okay, let's just lock in this core idea. Think of your body as this massive, non-stop construction project. It's always building and repairing things. Proteins? Those are the structures themselves, the walls, the pipes, the electrical wiring, all of it. And the fundamental little bricks for every single one of those jobs are the amino acids. Now imagine you're at a hardware store, about to start a project. What's the easiest, most efficient way to get it done? Well, it's to buy one of those pre-packaged kits, right? The ones that have every single nut, bolt, and panel you could possibly need. In the nutrition world, that perfect little kit has a name. We call it a complete protein.
A complete protein is exactly that, all in one kit. It's a single food that gives you all 9 of the essential amino acids. And remember, essential means our bodies can't make them. We have to get them from food. And it provides them in the right amounts. When your body gets a kit like this, it can just grab it and get straight to work. No delays.
So, where do we find these perfect, ready-to-go kits? Well, they're most common in animal-based foods. Things like meat, fish, chicken, eggs, and dairy products are absolutely fantastic suppliers of complete proteins. But wait, we can actually add another layer here. A high-quality protein isn't just complete. Think of it like a kit where the instruction manual is super clear and the parts are easy to get out of the packaging. It means the protein is easy for your body to digest and absorb. We call this high bioavailability. The bottom line is, it's not just about having all the parts, it's about how easily your body can actually get them and use them. Okay, but what about the flip side? What happens when that kit you bought is missing something? Come on, anyone who's built furniture from a box knows that feeling, that deep frustration. Well, that's the central issue when we talk about protein quality. Let's call it the missing piece problem. And that brings us right to the idea of an incomplete protein. This is a food source that's low or totally missing one or more of those 9 essential amino acids. It is literally like opening the box and realizing that one specific screw you need to hold the whole thing together just isn't there. And guess what? That one missing screw actually has a scientific name. It's called the limiting amino acid. It's the one essential amino acid that's in the shortest supply. And because your body needs all 9 to build anything, this one little missing piece brings the entire construction project to a screeching halt. And this is so important to understand. It is an all-or-nothing principle. It doesn't matter if you have truckloads of the other 8 amino acids ready to go. If that 9th one is missing, nothing gets built. Period. One missing piece means 0 construction. It is that critical. So let's just put this all together, side by side, to make it super clear. On one side, you've got your high-quality proteins. They're complete, they have all 9 essential amino acids, they're well-digested, and they're highly bioavailable, meaning they're ready for your body to use. On the other side, low-quality proteins. They're incomplete, generally harder to digest, and because of that, less bioavailable. Okay, knowing the theory is great, but we need a map, right? It's not so useful if we don't know where to look. So for this next part, let's take a quick tour of our food sources and see where we can actually find these building materials. Now, when we think protein, our minds often jump straight to animal foods, but it is absolutely crucial to remember that the plant kingdom is a massive supplier of amino acids too. Lots of different parts of plants provide these essential building blocks. But here's the thing, not all plant parts are created equal when it comes to protein. The real protein powerhouses of the plant world are going to be things like seeds, tree nuts, and legumes. Think beans and lentils. Other parts, like fruits, leaves, and roots, they still have some protein, sure, but way less. Now, every rule has its exceptions, and here are the superstars of the plant world. While most plant foods are incomplete, there are a couple of major exceptions: quinoa and soy. These guys are fantastic because they are complete proteins all on their own. For most other plants, the strategy is to combine them. It's called protein complementarity. Think about classic food pairings like rice and beans. The rice is low in one amino acid, and the beans are low in another. But you put them together, boom,
You've just built a complete, high-quality protein.
All right, let's wrap this up by coming back to the big picture. Why does all of this matter so much? I mean, what are the actual consequences for our body's construction site if we're constantly coming up short on the parts list?
It's a pretty clear and direct chain reaction. First, your body realizes it's missing a key part, that limiting amino acid we talked about. Second, protein production just stops, cold. And the immediate result of that shutdown, the body's most basic ability to grow, to repair tissues, and just to maintain itself gets seriously compromised.
And that brings us to our final question. Let's say you've done it. You've planned your meals, you got all 9 essential building blocks, you avoided that whole limiting amino acid problem. Great! But there's one more giant step in this process. How does your body actually get those building blocks from your plate into your system and delivered to the millions of construction sites that are calling out for them? Well, that's exactly what we'll be tackling in our next explainer.